Yo, what's up guys? Nick Smith is back here with another Trade Rumours video. This week, I'm actually in Thailand, so sorry about the whole landscape. Using a different camera, new microphone. It's not really new, but I'm using a microphone that's different. And computer setup's all different, plus you can obviously tell I'm in a hotel. But, still getting a Trade Rumours out for you guys. Hopefully you enjoy the content. Subscribe if you're new, leave a like if you enjoy these videos. But, let's get straight into it. First things first, there is a report that the Timberwolves and the Pistons are looking to trade, they're looking to trade point guards. Ricky Rubio for Reggie Jackson. Now, Reggie Jackson, he loves to score. I mean, he loves to attack the basket, unlike Ricky Rubio. He still gets assists, but like that's not his main thing. He's more of a scoring point guard. He's athletic, unlike Ricky Rubio. So, if you had Ricky Rubio and Andre Drummond on the same team, I guess would it work? I guess it would. I mean, it'd be hard. I mean, neither the Pistons or the Timberwolves are exactly happy with their point guard, so you can see a swap sort of working out. But in saying that, Jeff Van Gundy has already denied the statement, and they've already said right here, any deal would expand to involve other players such as Shabazz Muhammad. So I guess if the Timberwolves involve Shabazz Muhammad, maybe some other players, I don't know, a 2019 first round pick, we could see a trade on our hands. Ricky Rubio for Reggie Jackson. I don't know. Let me know what do you think about that. I mean, for the Timberwolves getting Reggie Jackson, that would be a pretty athletic lineup. I mean, Reggie Jackson, Zach LaVine, Andrew Wiggins, Towns, Gorgie Jeng. That's crazy. I don't know. I think it would be a pretty cool trade to see happen. So I don't think it's a loss for any team, but I think it could work out. Also, the last thing I want to say about the Ricky Rubio trade is the Timberwolves are actively shopping Ricky Rubio. So expect Ricky Rubio to be dealt by trade deadline, which the Timberwolves, they're looking bright for the future, but their record doesn't show it, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with Ricky Rubio. The next thing I want to talk about is obviously Carmelo Anthony. There's obviously been tons and tons of rumors about Melo. He's on a no trade clause, so the only teams that he'd waive his no trade clause apparently would be Cleveland and the Clippers. But he also said, apparently, I heard a rumor that he'd be willing to go to LA, like Los Angeles, Lakers. So if I'm a Lakers fan, I probably wouldn't want to get Carmelo Anthony just because, I don't know, Brandon Ingram, as of late, he's been playing alright. I think that he's a nice player that they'd want to develop at the small forward position, and I don't think they need Melo. I mean, why would he go to the Lakers anyway? He wants to win. Well, does he? No, not really. He probably just wants the money, to be honest with you. But I just can't see him going to LA. Cleveland, who are they going to really trade for Carmelo Anthony? See, right here, if the Knicks want him out, Carmelo Anthony says he'd consider leaving New York. And that's obvious, but he's already met with Phil Jackson, and they've already discussed the whole scenario. So I think he should leave, but I just can't see a trade happening. I mean, the Celtics, if they'd make a good push for him, then maybe, but he's got a no trade clause, so even if the Celtics wanted him, he'd have to want to go to Boston. So I just can't see him getting traded. So Melo to Cleveland. Who would they trade for Melo, to be honest with you? Clippers, yeah, Blake Griffin for Melo, but Blake Griffin's injured. There's an article right here that says David Aldridge. Now, if you don't know David Aldridge, he is an NBA reporter. He reports news, different types of things around the NBA. He's a pretty respectable reporter. He does stuff in ESPN, I believe. I don't know if it's ESPN, but something. He always does like reports about the NBA. Anyway, he said that the Clippers wouldn't even... Oh, my bad. I closed the link, but pretty much he said the Clippers wouldn't be willing to trade Blake Griffin for Carmelo Anthony, so yeah. Doc Rivers wants to keep the core together, but the core isn't working, alright, Doc. Either both of them or one of them is going to leave. They're not both going to stay in LA. I mean, you're not winning. One of them's going to the East. I promise you that. I will bet someone $100. No, I won't, but seriously, one of them's going to the East, mark my words. Now, the third player is obviously Rudy Gay. He's probably going to be out for the remainder of the season. If not, well, he'll probably be injured past the trade deadline. So even if the Kings wanted to trade him, obviously you can't trade an injured player, which looks like the Kings are going to have to keep Rudy Gay, get nothing for him, and he's probably going to leave in free agency. So not great timing for the Kings, but they had their chances to trade away Rudy Gay. They didn't do it. And now they're probably going to get nothing for him. In the past, he's already said that he doesn't want to come back to Sacktown, in saying that if they make the playoffs, which is a possibility. What are they in the Western Conference? Let's take a look. They're 11th in the Western Conference, so not great. In fact, I don't know. If they don't make the playoffs, he's not coming back, and yeah, that's what I think. Now, this is one that I think is absolutely crazy. I want to hear your thoughts about this trade rumor in the comment section. It's not even a trade rumor. This was a proposed trade by the Orlando Magic to the Miami Heat. It's not loading on the screen. The internet is so bad in Thailand right now. It's crazy. So my bad if it's just a white screen some of the time. The internet is so bad here. But the article is pretty much saying it's right here. Firstly, Bulls eyeing Chris Bosh for the future. That's something to think about. Let me know what your thoughts about that. Chris Bosh, coming back to the NBA, going to Chicago. Jimmy Butler, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. Don't expect Chris Bosh to play many minutes in a Chicago uniform in the future, but Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade returning. Maybe reuniting in Chicago. I don't know. It could happen, I guess. Bosh off the bench could be cool to see. I just wanted to return, and in fact, I want it to be healthy, but it would be cool to see him back in the NBA. The second thing is, if I can find it. Yeah, so the move for Goran Dragic, let's talk about that. The proposed trade was Nikola Vucevic and a first-round pick for Goran Dragic. What are your thoughts about that? Because I ran a poll on Twitter. I didn't run it, but I saw a poll on Twitter. There was a poll saying, should the Miami Heat have taken that trade? Let me know what you thought. The poll was, saying that the Miami Heat shouldn't have made that trade, which obviously they denied the trade. They just didn't go ahead with the trade. To be honest, as a Heat fan, my opinion, this is my thoughts. Making the trade would have freed up a lot of cap space for the Miami Heat because Dragic is on like an $85 million contract. Vucevic, I don't believe he's on a very big contract, at least not compared to what Dragic is on. Plus, we get a first round pick. For those that don't know, we don't even have our first round pick for next year. So having two this year would have been, I think it's this year. Or a future first round pick. So even if it wasn't this year, even just getting a future first round pick would have helped us out a lot, considering we don't have our own pick for next year. If we're going to rebuild, it would be an interesting trade to go with because we get two first round picks. Whiteside and Vucevic, on the other hand, working together, it wouldn't work out because one of them would have to be benched. Obviously, it'd be Vucevic. It was a cool trade. It's interesting to talk about. Pat Riley obviously didn't like the trade. He probably liked it. He just didn't go ahead with it. And the Miami Heat do have a lot of faith in Goran Dragic, so that might be another reason. The coach, Eric Spoelstra, loves Goran Dragic, so yeah, I don't know. We didn't go ahead with the trade, and what are your thoughts about the trade? To be honest with you, I don't mind it either if we did it or we didn't do it. Maybe Pat Riley has a trade in mind that he wants to get. Who knows? Pat Riley is a pretty good GM. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a trade up his sleeve. The next one, and this is pretty crazy, the ESPN, as it says right here, they report that there's debate in the organization whether to keep or trade Jimmy Butler, because they want to do a rebuild, but they don't want to do a rebuild with Jimmy Butler, because obviously a rebuild doesn't really work when you have a star player. You know the drill. It doesn't work that way. You either rebuild and tank, or you have a star player and compete, right? Obviously, that's normally how it works. Some exceptions here and there. Jimmy Butler, do I see him being traded? If the Bulls start playing bad, it could happen. Seriously, a trade could happen. And if they do want to rebuild, I'm expecting the Celtics to give them future Brooklyn Nets first round picks, Jaylen Brown. It's hard though. It's really hard to think about it because Jimmy Butler is a superstar. He is an amazing player. It would be hard to see him in a Boston Celtics uniform. We already had this discussion last week. If you want to watch last week's episode, go check it out. It's on my channel, obviously. But do I see Jimmy Butler being traded? No, but it could happen, man. It definitely could happen. Now, a few days ago, maybe about a week ago, okay, let me stop there. I'm white as hell. The New Orleans Pelicans and the Atlanta Hawks were in trade talks. As you know, Atlanta was trying to see who they could get for everyone. Paul Millsap, Kyle Korver, obviously he got dealt to Cleveland. Even Dwight Howard, he was on the block. And there was actually a trade rumor, Dwight Howard to the New Orleans Pelicans, to pair him up with Anthony Davis. This was before Atlanta decided, they're not going to make any more trades after the Kyle Korver trade, which I don't buy into that. I think if a nice trade offer comes up for Atlanta, I strongly believe they'll consider it, either for Paul Millsap or Dwight Howard. I don't know. But yeah, there was rumors that they're going to try and get Dwight Howard. New Orleans are going to try and get Dwight Howard. That is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, right now, it's not going to happen, but New Orleans wants to make a move. They have Tyreek Evans still. They're looking to move Tyreek. Even Drew Holiday's on the block, which is the last trade I want to talk about. Drew Holiday, what are your thoughts? Returning to the 76ers or not? As you can see, there's a rumor that the 76ers are interested in Drew Holiday. And to be honest, if you got a team with Drew Holiday to pair up with Ben Simmons once he returns, Joel Embiid, who in my opinion is one of the greatest rookies of all time. Look at the per 36 minutes. Obviously, he doesn't play 36 minutes, doesn't even play close. He doesn't even get enough game time in my opinion. He should get more game time. Like, the injury has passed him. In fact, he actually got injured the other day, but it wasn't serious. But still, I would love to see Drew Holiday back, return to Philly, where he actually made the All-Star team. That would be pretty cool. But with that said, if you guys enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like. That will be good. Let's try and aim for 4,000 likes for the next Trade Rumors episode. As you know, I like to do this series every week, so if you're excited for the next week's episode, give this video a big thumbs up. Hopefully a trade comes out soon, because I'm tired of all these trade rumors. I want a trade to finally come out. Obviously, we had the Kyle Korver one, but yeah, we want a new one. Anyway, subscribe if you're new, on the road to 200,000 subscribers. Sorry about the whole setup and the internet being slow in Thailand. Can't really do much about it, but yeah, it's actually probably a better camera. Anyway, I'm out.